Hi, this is Katie from Katie and the Squid. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Big Value Chunky from King Cole Yarns. So this yarn is a chunky weight yarn. It is from King Cole, and it is 100% premium acrylic, 167 yards or 152 meters per skein, and they're 100 gram skeins. So I recently used this yarn for my Lola blanket, which I'll insert some photos and clips of it here, and I thought I'd do a quick review of this yarn. This yarn was really easy to work with. I really enjoyed using it. It's a 2-ply yarn, which you can see right here of the texture. It just means that there's 2 plies that are twisted together. So that adds a nice texture to the stitch. So even if you're doing really simple stitches, it's gonna have a really nice texture to it. Also with the 2-ply, if you do any kind of stitches that have any kind of openings to them, like blank space, that 2-ply is gonna help it open up just a little bit more, which is gonna create even more texture in your work, which I think is really nice. For the Lola blanket, I worked through 10 skeins of the yarn, and as far as I could tell, the consistency of the yarn was really nice. There was one skein that had a couple knots in it, but it wasn't too bad. This yarn comes in a wide variety of colors. This is on the King Cole website. You can find this yarn through a King Cole stockist, and I will put a link in the description of this video where you can enter your zip code. You can find a stockist that way, and most likely if they stock King Cole yarn, they probably have Big Value Chunky, or they can order it for you. I also found it online through Love Crafts, and I'll add a link to that. So I worked up a few swatches so that you could get a sense of how it works up and what it looks like. So this swatch right here is unblocked, but I just did a variety of stitches so you could see what it looks like. Here I did single crochet, half double crochet, and then I did a combination of single crochets and double crochets. And as you can see, all of the stitch variations have a lot of texture to it. Like I said, that comes from the 2-ply twist. So again, this swatch is just unblocked so that we can compare it to these 2 other swatches. This swatch, and all 3 of these are done in half double crochet. So this swatch I just washed once. This is a machine washable yarn, so the easiest way to block this yarn is just going to be throw it in the wash and then you can dry it. And that's exactly what I did with this swatch. I actually like how this looks a lot better than this unblocked swatch. As you can see, there's not a lot of drape to it, but once I washed it, it is really nice and soft, and it has a wonderful drape to it. Even though it is a chunky yarn, it still is nice and drapey. Also, it does have a slight halo to it. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a slight halo to it. I kind of like that because it just makes it gives it kind of a softer look to it, and it's not so stiff and plain. So you can see it's just very slight, but it is there. And then this swatch I kind of took to the extreme. I washed it 5 times, and like I just threw it in with my normal wash. So, and then I dried it. So I really put this one through the ringer. Obviously with your handmade items, you're not really going to be washing and drying it that much, and you're probably not going to put it through this much abuse. And other than it being kind of wrinkled because I let it sit in my laundry probably too long, so it got some wrinkles in it. Other than that, this swatch, after being washed 5 times, honestly, it still looks great. So this yarn I think is gonna hold up really well over time. Like I said, you're probably not gonna put your handmade items through this much abuse, but it still looks great. It still has that slight halo to it, which I worried was gonna pill up, but I don't see any pilling whatsoever. So I am pretty impressed with how this holds up. As far as projects for this yarn, I made a blanket, and I think that worked up great because it's chunky. It works up nice and quick. So that was a lot of fun to make. It is nice and soft, so anything next to your skin, this is going to be great if you want to make a sweater or a scarf or a cowl or a hat or some chunky socks or slippers. That's going to work up great. The sky's the limit with this one because it is pretty durable, machine washable, easy to care for. You have a lot of options with this yarn. So I hope you enjoyed my review, and if you'd like to give this yarn a try, you can look for King Cole Stockist, or I'll link to where you can find it from lovecrafts.com. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will be doing more yarn reviews like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.